Good evening and welcome to Marshall Minute episode 45. It's been a couple weeks, but we are here.
Yeah,
Uh,
Dean didn't want to do it.
yeah, I was kind of just sick of
He's like,
you.
I've had enough of this nonsense.
Yeah.
I had to talk him back into it. So thanks for doing this, Dean.
All right. Well, now that the truth is out, I guess we can commence forward. If you're watching, tell us where you're watching from and smash that like button. It's been a couple of weeks. Obviously, we talked a few times, but everything going good in the life of Renee?
Yeah. Everything is recovering.
Yeah.
Um, I'm actually looking at maybe doing a workshop out at my place.
Oh, as well as you should.
Yeah, just trying to get myself back into
Hey, Jimmy.
some sort of shape. Um,
Errol. Just approved your post, Errol. Yeah, you should. I mean, you obviously have a lot to offer. Hitting people in the head with blunt weapons.
and so much more. Than just my
And
my good looks
hey,
and charm and all that. But
well, that goes without saying. I mean, that's a
let's.
nice, pleasant side dishes, and plus um, the occasional headbutt. Don't forget that.
I think it's my love language. It's my wife says, hitting people is my love language. So,
I would not argue. Good, yeah, Jamie. I hope the same for you. What
what
do
about
you?
you? You've been doing some traveling around too, right?
No, it's funny. Normally, by this time, I usually do the New Hampshire event, a New York event, and there's in Florida. And this year, I could not do any of the three because every weekend, one of the kids, or if not both, had something going on. So, you know what, though? I didn't, it's fine. It's obviously they're more important what they had going on. And as everybody knows, I'm not a fan of traveling. So it worked out, but definitely, a lot of teaching, but yeah, going. Looks like maybe in the summertime, Missouri, and maybe a couple other places. But the spring, it just the kids just tied up, So you had some things that I guess before we segue into the women's self defense and how we feel about the current industry and where we think there could be improvements. Let me say could instead of should. What are
Hmm.
you noticing on that's been disturbing you
Well, God, um,
besides
well,
everything? No.
we've obviously spoken about this in private a bunch of times, but it's actually this week's episode is going to line up with kind of next week's episode with having Christina on. Christina is she's a badass fighter,
Nice.
roller derby, roller derby martial artist. She's actually a full dog brother as well, and it was actually funny. We were actually just chatting about this just before we started tonight, and the disturbing trend in martial arts in general, but also the women's self defense. The pink Fox 40 whistle idea for martial arts, and not acknowledging the amount of violence you have to sometimes inflict on somebody to fight someone off.
Mm,
This tapping on the hands, and you can break my grip by going the same side as my thumb,
mm,
like that stuff, and it's happening in self defense in general. Definitely next week we'll touch more, I think, on the women's side with Christina and her perspective. Um,
yeah.
but I think just in general, I think I'm just we touch on this like pretty much every week, but I've noticed day in day out, it's just either I'm living in a different reality, or people are just eating this stuff up. Like it's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's and I have a women's thing, and before I get into specifics, I
What do you
think
mean you have a women's thing?
yeah, I should be careful how I'm wording these. Um, no words. I think there's some folks in the current industry that absolutely mean well and their intentions are good, and I think there's some who maybe fall short of that. But I think it's an outdated industry. Not everybody,
Hmm.
but from what I see, mostly based on them doing like a 2 hour clinic or what have you, and what they think these women are going to actually get out of that and able to do with just 2 hours instead of focusing on concepts. And before you go deeper, start there, with the current industry.
Yeah, and I think this. Like, I don't give a shit what people think when I say this, but when you're a martial arts instructor and you're at a certain level of athleticism, you can't rely on the people that you're teaching to be at that same level. Sometimes I see these people who are amazing athletes, can do somersaults and whatever else. However, the average Joe is not like that, or Jane for that matter. And I think that's part of the problem as well. Is like they go through this super intricate move or high level of
Mm,
athleticism where so what? Like you're out of shape, so you don't deserve to be. You don't deserve to defend yourself. Like I get it. It, you need to do it so you can stay healthy and whatnot. But not everybody has that lifestyle. Not everybody wants that lifestyle.
yeah. I think what it
And
is, these women, they go to it, they see a flyer, they go with a friend. They're not really vested. They're doing, maybe it was a fundraiser or this or that, but they're getting out of the house and what have you. But again, I think most of the folks that are doing these, I think their intentions are good. However, though, from what I've seen on social media and just seeing in person, it's a very outdated. And and the back up a bit, I don't like the term women's self defense. I understand you have to use that to elicit a response to get folks in, but to me, it's self protection, and it is not gender related, in my opinion. In other words, what I give women for creating good habits, it's the same stuff I give guys. So I don't go into the gender specific, and there, to me, that's the first problem because if it could work for a woman, well, damn well, generally speaking, it's going to work well for a guy. So I don't separate the two as far as the creation of good habits, which I'll go
yep.
into later.
Yeah, there was a while that I helped one of my instructors teach at a hospital for people with spinal injuries and people who had limited movement. And man, I had to stop doing it just because some of the stuff that I was seeing, you know, um, it was just garbage. Like, you know,
Yeah.
if someone's being mugged and you're in a wheelchair and they have limitations to using their body, like they need to have something as an equalizer or
100.
or a force multiplier.
Yeah.
And
All the above. Yep.
when people are like, "Well, I don't want to teach that because it's a liability," then you shouldn't be there in the first place.
I think it's just being
So,
honest. Like when I see, again, I'm only basing on what I've been exposed to and what I've noticed some of my people that I know do. And the whole thing is that you're going to cram a bunch of information, what they should do, and this and that against certain and there. And the problem is, it's like when we go to seminars and you go see these guys and they're cramming this information to you. First of all, you're not going to remember anything. So how are these women this tour thing? How are they going to even perform some of these stuff? If you don't, you can't practice what you don't remember, and they're not going to do stuff on their own. However, if you give them concepts, which I'm going to get into how I feel women's self defense is weaponized, I'm just sorry. It's just unrealistic. And I'll go deeper into that when I do. But it's also the creation of good habits, and where how they get there, and again, not covering ambush, man. Ambush is just so wide open, and like I tell my male students, you're just going to have to hopefully you weather that first attack that's first there, and hopefully you can click into your training, but there's no guarantee with ambush. Here's the thing: our upper echelon, our pinnacle Navy SEALs, when they get ambushed, guess what? Unfortunately, some of them die. So with ambush, come on now, we're not superheroes. Dean likes to expose his. That's for another episode, but yeah, thank you for bringing that up though.
Yeah, like I was actually there's some weird statistic with uh, law enforcement when they get into a firefight and they're on target. You know, and please, I'm not insulting anybody out there, but when you're working in high pressure situations, a lot of that stuff goes out. It goes out the window for professionals. So imagine what it does for Joe
Average
Blow.
layman, right? Right? I mean,
And it's something that I say this on a regular basis as well. And it's just like how many times have I seen as a bouncer someone who I know is a good boxer
hmm,
get into a fight with somebody and it turns into not what a boxing match is.
he's out of his element, and that's what I mean. It's just like well, one of the things why folks like us are humble. Well, one, we've been freaking cracked. And we know at any given moment, man, any given moment, we could be taken out if we're just not in the moment. We could be taken out. We know that there's that aspect. So to have what's currently going on in the industry and thinking like, okay, well they getting this chokehold, and I guess yes, you have to address some of that. But to me, it's like, how about showing assertion? Again, folks, I'm staying away from ambush. I mean, but I know there's a dialogue, there was an engagement, there was an encroachment, and instilling in these folks that, because if they don't have that, where that assertiveness, or that, back off, stay back. That's I mean, if they don't have that, they're done. They're done. If they can't be assertive in there, I don't care what you're giving them after that, because it's all going to fall apart. You know what I mean?
There's been plenty of times, and I'll go back to my bouncing days where people, when people say, "Oh, just try to talk your way out of it," and don't get involved.
Mm.
And yeah, sometimes it has to do with machismo and ego and everything else. But there's people out there who just really enjoy messing people up. And
They're
if you're
evil.
unlucky enough to meet one of those people, then your talking isn't going to do anything to change that person's mind or a group for that matter. I found usually, um, in my experience, again, with the experience I had, if there's a group of people and they wanted to, whatever, show their dominance over one person or whatever goes through their head, whether it's a gang or whatever, it's going to happen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's just some folks out there. If you look at what's going on in Europe, I mean, it's a whole nother. But again, it's creating with these women that, that they have to create. They have to have developed that assertiveness, that, like, where they're gonna, go beyond advocating themselves. But again, but it's also, you know, like, in other words, what I find with a lot of this industry, they go, okay, we're gonna do this. Okay, yeah, be around your surroundings, but they never cover like more in the pre-violence. How did they get there? How were they allowed to get in that space where they could do the fireman's carry to the van, which is horrible, or they did get that knockout punch? And to me, there's not enough dialogue in that. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit. Yeah. I put myself in a lot of really bad situations. um, and knowing that I was doing it just because I thought it'd be, whatever. But he, like, and it's funny that you brought up, like what's going on in Europe. Never mind Europe. Like I'll say with Canada, and people also have this idea that I don't rely on anybody to
Yeah.
save my, like it's great if someone calls the cops and they might be on their way, uh, you know, whether they deem it as a high priority or not. But if it takes them 3 minutes to get there, that's 3 minutes that I can get curbed, and get stopped. And that's my problem too, is that people seem to think that, oh, when the cops show up, it's going to end, or I just have to hold off. Like it's not like the way things are set up and the way things are happening right now. It's just you have to go to a different level, like you said. The levels and stuffs that are being taught today are antiquated, and they're some Hollywood bullshit, which just does not work.
Yeah. I mean, you touched about it. You're the first responder, right? I mean, and so if you're not even establishing boundaries and being assertive, it's good. I mean, they're just gonna look at you as prey. And the other thing too, is this whole thing with in other words, you see like okay, they have those suits, they put the suits on so you can grab the person and you can knee them and all this and that. They feel empowered. I get it, but the problem is when you got somebody, a 200-pound guy, 130-pound woman. I'm not saying that stuff won't work or can't be possible. My point is, I just solely wouldn't count on that. And I'm not saying, man, that woman got there, she got it. Okay, she put her hands there, she did it perfectly. She rattled all five knees. I'm not saying it can't work. I'm just saying you can't count on that. You know what I mean?
I think, and having been a person in one of those suits before, I think it's great if you've never ever been in a scrap or pressure tested something. I think it allows you to give it gives you an idea of what you need or where you should be.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But then there's also that thing where it's like I get to let all my aggression out on this Stay Puft Marshmallow Man or the Michelin Man. But the Michelin Man, even though he's hitting you, because I'll be honest with you, because when I was doing this stuff, it was for an instructor of mine, and we were training some people who were in private security or some law enforcement people. I loved it because I got to like tee off and not get charged. But the reality is, I'm still in the suit, and it's kind of like the guy who's teaching the dog, those security dogs. He's not really afraid of that dog too much, and I'm probably ruffling somebody's feather with that. Like you're still under a lot of protection. But if the suit comes off and then you realize my job's to hurt you or to stop you, it's going to really change the way you think.
Especially somebody who's never,
Like,
yeah, because they're right now they're acting a role in the class. You know what I mean? They've seen other people do it. They're going to tee off on this guy who's ever dressed up. But out there, they're going to be generally speaking alone. You know what I
uh,
mean? They're not going to have their classmates there, whatever the setting may be, seminar or whoever they went with. And so I totally agree with you on that.
oh, dude, I've seen, and I may have felt this firsthand. Uh, in brawls in bars, removing people, having a guy tap as I'm taking him outside, like drag him outside, and it's just like it infuriated me. It's like this isn't a game, right? And I gotta go back to my dog brother roots. It's like when people see stick fights and like, holy shit, that's brutal. But then they see a soft stick fight, it's like, oh, I could do that. But then when you put like a live stick and you're like, we're gonna do the same thing now. That's a whole different animal to me, right? That to me, now you have to be committed to that kind of violence.
Yeah. I I'm not real fan. I've had Tony Blauer on here. I'm a big fan of them. If you're saying they're not bulky like the Red Man suits and all that, they sound like they're a better version. But I guess my point, Gabe, is that I think there needs to be more dialogue before it gets to that point. Like not how you get there. Not like again. I'm going to get into how I feel with women's self defense.
Yeah, it's Gabriel, same thing. Like I think that allowing yourself to let that switch go off and attack somebody who's wearing that kind of equipment is great because it gives you an idea of what
Power you got to generate, where you got to hit
I
it.
don't want to say what you might be capable of, but I think if that person wasn't wearing a suit and had that same intention, saying I get to hit you back as hard as you hit me, um, that might change the way that game plays out.
Yeah, and I guess
Right. And I know there's liability issues and all the other bullshit that comes along
and
with it.
yes, and the comfortability. You're in this setting with other that you probably went there with somebody you know. You probably know the teacher, maybe even. So there's going to be a relaxed aspect to it, and there, and hopefully the introduction to stress inoculation. Hopefully it's done in increments, but again, though, it's weaponized. Like, come on. Like to me, I feel creating the good habit, not letting anybody get close to you as much as humanly possible, where that's going to give you distance, time options where you can draw whether they have on person. But again, here, the other thing too is they have to be part of it. Like, who the hell are we to tell, like, okay, we're going to set up the, I mean, like, they should have a say in it. You know what I mean? Like, what's their value system? Where's their moral compass? Where are they comfortable carrying? You know what I mean? Like I said, if us just sitting back here and telling them what they should and shouldn't do. My opinion, long guard. Like there's a few key essentials. If they get knocked down like that, long guard is critical for self defense. Like keeping your feet between you and the attacker. I don't see that going over, generally speaking, when I look at women's self defense. Like that's a huge piece. Long
Yeah,
guard,
like
no?
it's. I think it's for me. It's. I don't know. I'm a 225 pound maniac. You know, an eye poke is not gonna generally stop me. Like if my
They don't
adrenaline's
count. That's my point. They can
all
help,
you're
but they
doing
don't
is you're
count on it.
pissing me off.
Right. You might piss a guy. Like I think those things are great and better than doing nothing, of course. But man, don't count on it. Like again, man, it's weaponized. I'm sorry. I know some
Or
folks.
even people who say, "Oh, you can rip someone's piercings out." All I've seen is absolute rage.
He can show you the power level. I don't disagree with that, Tony, but I understand. In striking hard and where to strike, I get it. But yeah, but I think it's an innate thing with women. They know the groin, the throat. I mean, eyes. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, yeah. Anytime, Gabe. And, oh, we got
And I think you know what kind of bothers me to a certain degree as well is I'm seeing people polite about fighting. It's like it's like when you see things happening to people on the street, you watch a video of someone being attacked or kidnapped or whatever. It's like there's almost a weird level of of politeness until it's like, oh shit, this is actually happening, right?
I
I
mean,
am
that time
not.
it's too late. They're already in proximity.
Oh,
You know.
when my kids were little and someone was on their phone walking towards us, that phone would get slapped out of their hands. I couldn't care less. It just you've. I'm not going to say excuse me. You ran into me. Like that's just not the way I operate or think.
Mm.
Did I make friends? No. Um,
I cannot
but
believe you did not make friends.
well,
I
you've
find that
spoken
hard
to my
to
wife. She's told you how much fun I can be.
I
As
just find
far
that
as
hard to believe, regardless of the setting that you go to, that you are not making
maybe
friends.
one day you and her can just have a show, and I'll sit in the background, and she'll tell you how much of a nice person I am.
I don't know if there'll be enough time. But
I know,
um,
I know.
so, folks, if you're and please chime in. Here's why I believe women's self defense should be weaponized. I feel even if they're not an active martial artist, and what I mean by that, they're not training striking, they're not training clinch work, they're not training ground weapons. They're going to be such a disadvantage, strength, the obvious size, and all that. And the 2 hour clinic that they go, well, it's better than nothing. I get it. I'm not saying that. However, it's not going to be enough
Daddy, may I have a
to
phone?
defend against that
Yes.
person
Yay!
intent
Sure.
on getting them. Where I think weaponization, where they have to like get space, and this is why I feel Medusa and Piper lend themselves to these because they're very point driven, they're very aggressive, offensive, but they come, generally speaking, not all Medusa, but primarily WPM and some Medusa tactics from a rear load where this arm's out. They have to get to here, and you're just recycling from the open. That's my belief that, but women, they have to be part of the solution because, again, value system, moral compass. Were they comfortable carrying, if anything, tactical pen, besides a spray, knife? I mean, that gets ugly. Gun, money. You have to get training. You have to get a license, and so on and so forth.
No, I agree. And going back to what you're saying, we can almost exclude just saying women's self defense and just saying self defense in general.
I
And
guess what I mean, but they do it because they to listen. I get it. Like you got to get them in the door, so you got to say women like
oh
that.
shit, man! My favorite was watching. The and I'm not shitting on you karate guys, so please, uh, like, give me a break. But watching these guys teach children, and it's like, hey Johnny, what happens if someone grabs your hand? It's like, oh, I go like this, and
I
everybody's clapping.
know.
It's like,
Oh my god.
congratulations, you've just taught that kid to get kidnapped.
Yes, absolutely, Jim. Here's another thing too. And hear me out on this, guys. We did a test with this with some of the females, okay, that we had in this group class pre-COVID, COVID. just destroyed everything. Um, we found when they dropped to the ground. Now, I want context here. They didn't have loved ones to protect. They're by themselves. By dropping down, they avoided getting picked up, hammered. They had to go through the person's legs and arms, and it gave them time to draw because their legs are up. They're kicking like wild, okay? And they're, again, context. They don't have loved ones to protect, okay? This is like they're by themselves. But we found it bought them time, long screaming, kicking. And I'm going to tell you, with those girls kicking like that, it wasn't really easy just getting or grabbing. And based on what they were comfortable with, we had a weapon that mimicked what they were comfortable carrying it. And just that rear load again from that Piper from Long Guard, I'm telling you, it came out. So
Yeah, but here's the other thing which we didn't really touch on is that Piper is a system that was brought out of prisons and streets.
correct,
So we're talking about a system that was born out of violence, and
correct.
that's what I enjoy about it is the fact that it it came out of that. So the reality aspect to that is much greater, right? And that's the thing I really appreciate about it. It's not a dueling art. It's not a sparring art. It's a put the person down art, and that is something that it's a hard sell because people, it's like, hey, what are you going to teach me? How do I defend against?
I know, Medusa too.
That's a,
But if you reverse
you
engineer,
have to kill them.
I know if you reverse engineer and people see in WPM, the reason why we've grown so much because people see we're not just about okay knife. We make the transition to our weapons are legally defensible, but going from the same methodology of the rear load. This is why it works perfectly for women. Man, out there, time to draw that recycling. I mean, and then they go to ground. I'm telling you, we really tested this stuff out. I wouldn't be sitting here advocating this if I didn't test this in there, but it yielded really good results as opposed to them. Okay, I want you to give me a tie clinch. I am freaking on whatever 200 plus pounds, and I'm gonna throw you around. You know what I mean?
Here's the other thing too, which I think is missing, is the reality of telling people that maybe your attacker is highly trained.
That's another thing too. Criminals, right?
You know, some of my friends who are in the French police force, they don't assume that the person trains. They assume that they may be training better than the police. That they're, and everybody that they're coming in contact with has some sort of training or a weapon.
Yes, kick. See, 100% GM. Kicking from the freaking ground. They have to get through your legs. They have to get through your arms. They can't pick you up and take you to the van. They can deploy a weapon. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. GM. See, awesome. But you're saying, yeah, but I get what you're saying. Like you, Renee, like you assume that they're doing more than you're doing, right? You know,
I always assume that the person's not alone,
and that too, and assume a weapon.
and
Assume it.
and I'm at these days I put that as a guarantee.
Not alone, and
And your age and age group and stuff like that, it doesn't fucking matter, man. Like the about a month ago, a 14-year-old shot a 16-year-old in the head at a mall about 25 minutes, half an hour from my house over an argument over a bag of weed. So if they're willing to kill somebody over that,
that's
that's going to happen
no.
when
I mean,
someone
what you're
decides to fight
saying,
back.
obviously we could talk about the unraveling and the breakdown of ethics and morals worldwide and just, defund the police and some of the rhetoric and this and that, and what's currently going on. But yeah, like you said, if they're willing to do that and again, like what if there's a group, like how is a woman going to defend against a few people without a weapon? It's not going to freaking happen. I tell guys, man, the guys that come to me, man, yeah, weaponized against multi-attacker. I mean, even so. In other words, I don't separate between the genders. I do advocate for the women that are by themselves. Man, get
Yeah,
to the ground.
remember? Did you see the video of that guy who he stops to help? Like a It looks like a woman and her friend who broke a bag or something on the ground, and I think it happened somewhere in Latin America where he went to help, and when he bent down, one of the women pulled out a knife and shanked him in the neck,
No.
and then they robbed him and went away. Like this isn't just women that get attacked, right? Like this is just one of those things. And when we were talking about moral compass, like there, I'm not going to I'm not going to dispute that there's people out there who are fighting over ego, alcohol, drugs, whatever
Mm.
that happens. But I find nowadays that there is no compass. It's all about
Sad.
what you are going to do to
Yeah.
make yourself,
Sad.
you know, yeah. And shit, man. Like I got two young kids. Like if it's going to go down and there's no way about it, it's got to be dirty and it's got to be evil. Like there's
Yeah.
no way.
I mean, my daughter, when she goes for a walk, and this is just a neighborhood, we live in a very safe neighborhood, but I tell her, like, she's got something she's got to pick, something like that. Just because if she's 100 yards from me, sorry, this guy is not doing the 40 under 15 seconds.
And isn't that crazy too? Like I remember as a kid, I could literally at my kids' age, I would disappear. They wouldn't see me. My
Yeah,
parents wouldn't see me. Now, if my kids are 15 feet away from me when we're
you're
walking
like,
around, I am in high alert.
imagine that. Like, I know, like, I used to ride my bike like miles and miles away in the 80s. Now, if my kid said, "Oh, I'm driving
Well,
downtown,"
I remember you used to walk up a hill in the snowstorm in your pajamas to go to school backwards,
did I did
there and back.
I did. I didn't want to bring that up,
Well,
but thank you. Yes,
you brought that up when we spoke about 355 a while back, but
well, the profound effect.
I could see how that.
The knockout game, yeah, that was in, yeah, just randomly going up to somebody and hitting them, yeah, just
Yeah, and what used to be like movie plots where someone had to shoot somebody or kill somebody to be part of a gang. That's like a normality these days. It's like it happens a lot. There's so many stabbings and shootings that happen in Toronto, in Canada, where everything is safe. That doesn't make the news just because of the sheer number of times that it happens. That
look
it's
at
not
look
anymore.
at the incident we had with the just in Texas. That's making all the media. The guy supposedly told the guy at the tent, kind of did this, didn't knock him over, so the push wasn't that hard. Tons of witness testimony. Guy who's in jail now takes out the knife, stabs the kid in the heart. Over like telling him to get out of the tent, and supposedly he did put his hands
Oh,
like
yeah.
this to kind of there. Didn't push him and knock him over. There's tons of testimony that he didn't do that, but still, and freaking stabbed the kid in the heart over that. It's crazy.
Shit, dude. Like, what about, there's an incident that happened in Canada recently where a man and his child are walking and he got attacked by another man and he started beating the tar out of the dude, had him on the ground while he's still holding his kid's hand.
Dude, I mean, how do you do that with when there's
And
a
this
photo?
guy was peeing off. And then he got let go because, there's some
How
custom
depraved can you
and
be?
some other shit. Like, personally, like, I don't know. As a father, if I see that, there's a good chance I'll snap. There's a good chance I'll end up in
Oh,
a
I'm
justice.
pulling over. You can't drive by. You know what it is? Guys like me and you and others are watching this. Those are sleepless nights, man. Because you didn't make that stop and do something about it. Like I'm not sleeping. For the rest.
I, yeah, I think putting it into context, like I used to hang out in some pretty interesting places, and I knew when is a good time for me to stop and when it's not. If it's a bunch of dudes who are fighting each other, and definitely there's something involved that has none of your business, that's one thing, man. But if I see
No,
someone on their own
totally.
by a bunch of people,
Yeah. Especially with a
yeah,
kid there,
it's
like that's going to bring out that
like just put
natural.
that vision in your head. There's a dude being punched out because of where he's from,
Mm.
holding on to his child's hand while the kid's screaming. And the guy's like shoving the kid out of the way. He's shoving the kid out of the way to punch him.
That's
Like
where you
that's a
drive and you just accidentally drive over the guy and say, like, man, the glare was in. I mean, but that's terrible. Like, how
oh
depraved
yeah,
can you be?
Steven, I seen that. I seen that video.
The lady walking down the sidewalk,
Yeah,
stabs.
she stabbed like a kid in the face and then one kid in the shoulder before people started acting. And here's the other thing too is like, and it kind of blows my mind. Like I watch these videos of all over the world, like even in Toronto, where someone could be walking down the street with an axe, a knife, or some other weapon, baseball bat, and nobody bats an eyelash. They're like,
In
"Oh, what's?"
Europe, they're walking Europe. It's you can't believe what's going on there. It doesn't make the media. I mean, depending on
Like when I was a kid, I remember this guy. He had a mace gun, shot like mace bullets, and the guy he got frog stomped for it. Like, he didn't get a chance to pull that thing out. It was just like somebody said, "Hey, think that guy has a gun," and he got fucking destroyed. That doesn't happen now.
no, because the liability. These police are so afraid of getting sued. They're, I mean, like talking to them, like they're making sure, man, like it is absolute. They're just so afraid of the retaliation of lawsuits, this, and getting just over scrutinized for what they're doing. I
I
mean,
don't know. I just feel like people think they're living in a video game, and as long as you're not the main character, no one's going to touch you.
well, it's better down here now that Trump is in office because now the whole thing to fund the police is that rhetoric is just nobody's saying that anymore. I mean, which was just ridiculous. Because guess who the first those people are saying that? Guess who the first phone call is going to be? They're going to be calling if they're in trouble.
Of course.
You know, but they fund them. Yeah, for sure, Gabe. And like,
There's a big difference between like some ideologies where it's like, hey, you got to defund these people, or say, hey, maybe people need some more training, and that's a big difference. And
you're
I
right.
and I listen. I know, and I don't know if it's changed here yet, but I don't think it has. But a lot of people who join different LEO organizations are not required to maintain any physicality. You know what I mean? Like it's just
That's
like
true.
I passed everything. Now I'm 250 pounds,
I think it's a
and
shortage. Nobody's signing
oh,
up.
it's a huge shortage, and I
You
think
know?
that all of that's going to bite us in the ass because
It
it's
is good
happening
advice because
more.
they're like, what, become a cop so I can get sued? And no, here's the thing with
Well,
this.
not even that. It's like all of a sudden now it's like it was super hard to become a cop,
Now it's you're
and I'm
hired.
not saying it's still not hard,
Here's the
but even
thing.
I got friends of mine that, for example, even the border services, who where it was the hiring practice for border services people was 4 to 6 months. And I was just recently reading into some of the stuff that's going on, or now they've changed a lot of stuff. They
Mm.
don't have the physical tests anymore.
But look at I know, but look how bad that's gotten. Like where they're, like for instance, like their town next over to me. This lady, her and Tracy, my wife, were they grew up in. They went through all school together. Past high school, college, and when they're kids, like anything, life takes over. But she went to the police 3 times about her soon-to-be ex-husband. Say, look, he's being violent. He's this. I mean, okay. So they gave her a protective order. Guy didn't listen to him there. He ended up killing her. What happened was because they were
Dean,
so
Dean, I
controlling.
can hear you. I just have to do something very important, which is answer my door so I can get my kids their dinner.
Oh, go ahead.
So, but I can hear you. I'm like 3 feet away.
Go ahead. I'm going to keep going. So anyway, um, went to the police station numerous times, 5 times to be specific. And the day, what happened was everybody was in arms. Well, how come the police didn't drive by? How come the police didn't enforce this? And one of the cops came on, obviously very empathetic about the situation. And he goes, look, at any given shift, there's only 2 of us on duty at times. And we're getting calls left and right because naturally they want to blame police, but the police don't make the laws. And so, but again, a terrible situation, kind of revolving again, like, just the shortage in police and what's occurring. You know what I mean? It's just terrible, terrible. Just catch up on the comments here. We have police officers and agency that could never, yeah, it's not a priority anymore. They got to get who they can get. That's wow. And only, yeah, just, yeah. Yeah. I was in the city just this past weekend with Nick Merchant. Um, Vincent Cabales came. So we were in Queens. I saw at least, no exaggeration, 6 female police officers right in Queens. So, which is great. Yeah. I don't think they have the money. I think there's this funding short. I mean, some of these, from what I understand, are pretty desperate as far as you know, um, yeah. So I think it's a huge problem across, and just lack of who wants to be a police officer these days. What's going on? But hopefully that's going to improve. Um, they're like, I'm not hearing defund the police anymore. Not at least here in the states, anyhow. So, which is a great thing. Um, it was good, Stephen. I'm not a Kambalas guy, but I was asked to come. GM Vincent asked me to come, which I was humbled and honored. Phenomenal guy in person. Yeah, and then I got to see Nick, which is always nice, and a few other guys. So yeah, it was a good time. Just get I think it's money. Yeah, scheduling money. I don't know. I just think a lot of these apartments, they're money, time, yeah, scheduling. I think all the above. Um, just waiting. So
Sorry.
I just wrapped up the story about the town over me and just how again there were only 2 cops sometimes on any given night shift, and they can't just. It's hard. Like, and one, the cops don't make the laws. So it's really tough to blame them what they could have or should have did, and et cetera. Nick is, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and the pressure that a lot of these people are under, right? That's
Oh my
the
God,
that's the
look at
crazy
divorce
part.
rate, alcoholism, suicides with police. I mean, right? I mean, it's up there, right? You know.
Well, like
Um,
I said, what I was saying before is that, and I've seen this especially in some of the Latin American countries that I worked in and that I lived in, is when you have a job like that that's exceptionally dangerous and nobody wants to do it, and they're dying for people, the standards sometimes can go down, right? And that can change it can change the dynamics of relying on people like that to help you out as well.
yeah, a lot of the DT up here in Illinois, yeah, which not multi-system and their weapon stuff, as far as the baton and all that was not the greatest either that I've seen, but at least I guess they're doing something. Anyway, but yeah, um, but yeah. So who do you got? So does she definitely? She seemed to be a go for.
100%.
Oh, that's gonna be great, man. We'll get yeah. That'll
Yeah,
be
like she's just a well-rounded fighter, and
rollerblade, dog brother. I mean, that's pretty exciting.
uh, Muay Thai, like a bunch of other stuff too. I think, and I'll let her speak for herself when it comes to that. But I think it's really time if we're gonna start. If people are gonna talk about women's martial arts and women's training,
See,
and
that's
then
come for them. We get her perspective, what she thinks should. You know what I mean? They have to have input. I believe they firmly have to have input. Like, no, we're telling what they need. I open up with, why did you come here today? What do you want to get out of this? You know what I mean? I always open up with that. Like, getting them right from the get go. And Bob says, just hang up there and put a bunch of techniques and et cetera, but I think they got to be involved. You know what I mean?
Gabriel, if you could
It's a
suggest
good,
a good system for women to train in, I would
Medusa,
just.
yeah. Long guard
I,
with weapon. That's my
I
answer.
won't go into systems on by themselves. You just need to train with people who don't bullshit you.
That, and if you agree with the weaponization, Piper is really, because again, you're going from that rear load. There's the protection of the weapon, the shield, and all that. I'm heavily behind that for women. And again, not just knife centric. If their value system is with a flashlight, fine. Conflict, whatever their value system, what they're comfortable carrying, and make sure, of course, it's legally defensible in the first place. But
Well, it's funny that I knew that was going to come up somewhere. I think it just there has to be that. I don't know. At one point, you have to say, "Hey, man, I want to do the legal thing and not the illegal thing." But there's going to have to be a coin flip there one day, where you have to decide, "Shit,
yeah,
man,
putting
not
on.
legal for me to throw someone in traffic,
No,
but I
yeah,
had to
yeah,
do."
yeah. I guess I'm coming from again. I'm just looking at it from the whole woman's point of view. But
Hey,
for us,
listen, we're giving our opinions. We're not giving people advice, right?
that's a whole
Uh,
nother thing too. Yeah, I mean, we're just telling you basically based on looking at the current industry, seeing what it addresses, more importantly, what it doesn't address, and that's where I kind of formed like my system. But again, I stand behind. I think women's self defense, based on their value system and what they're comfortable with, is
and sometimes you have to suspend that moral compass when it comes to
yeah.
back to somebody.
But
Case
you
in
know,
point, when we're talking about that guy who's being punched out while he's holding on his kid, and we're saying, maybe if I accidentally ran him over, a lot of people don't think about running people over, but in that particular, scenario, it just doesn't seem so bad.
how do you do that? Like,
Legal? No, and you're going to go to court, and you have to deal with all the other
if
aftermath.
you're a judge and saw, I mean, like, first of all, like, how depraved can you be? Like, you are assaulting this guy, and their child is there screaming. Like, how
He
do you?
got let go. He got arrested and he was let go. He was deemed not to be at fault, which is we're having some issues all over the place with that as well. And you know
How's that even possible? That it wasn't his fault.
it's not. It's
Oh
not.
Lord.
And that can go into a whole other.
Yeah, weaponized, distant. Yeah, absolutely. Umbrella, walking stick, all the above. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny. I see people carrying a lot of these cool tools and different picks and stuff like that. But I always have to go back to my Polish friend who picked up that stone and just that was like, I guess it's on, and he was going to use it, and he was just going to bash.
That's funny.
Get that away from her because she's going to
Yeah.
choke on it.
Folks, not a shameless plug. This is I had this here from the last episode, but those you're interested, this weekend, me and Burton, Piper
Who's
Method.
that?
Who's that?
Burton, what?
Who's that guy? Who is Burton? I don't know. Who is that guy?
Oh, he's got that cooking book, right?
Cooking book, and
Cooking,
he does
cooking for the streets or battlefield cooking or something like that.
battlefield cooking for the streets, and it's a
Yes,
weaponization of frying pans. Okay.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yes, so that's really important that you get that.
If you're going to cook, you better be aware of how to, use that to defend yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Half frying pan will travel.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you one thing. These samosas have enough chili flakes to kill the average human being.
What
But
are they? What are they? What are you eating?
samosas,
I don't know if I ever had them. Huh.
they were originally from Connecticut.
Wow.
Italian settlers, yeah.
The Italian settlers. Forget the pizza. It was truly that they were
It
doing.
was samosas.
Okay. I am now educated. I am now made whole based on that information. Here I thought it was Connecticut and pizza. It's not. So
It's not pizza, it's samosas.
I got it. I am stand correct.
I keep thinking about Waterbury, Connecticut, even though, when we were both,
That's so funny that you were there.
it didn't. But I could not get over the amount of, what do you call it, cemeteries in Waterbury,
Oh
Connecticut.
yeah. Do you know why? It was
People
a
died.
very religious. If you look at the top of the hill, that whole thing. Did
Mhm.
anybody show you that? Like way up high, that like there
I'm not going to lie to you. Not a lot of people spoke to me when I was there.
could be just the energy that
Tim
you.
Wade did. He
Yeah.
found me interesting. Um, I was there with Philip and Tyler.
You know what it is? It's like an animal you never seen before. You find it interesting. You just don't know if
You're
you want
like, wow,
to approach it.
is that a two-legged gecko? What is that?
Is that? It
Is
seems
that?
to move its mouth. It moves.
It, it talks like a man.
Let me approach it slowly and cautiously.
It was funny because there was somebody there, and Philip was there, and he's like, "Oh, it's Renee's, it's a fellow dog brother," and the guy was like, "One of those animals,"
See?
and I
It
was
was
like, "All right,
enough.
well,
See? See?
it was nice chatting with you. I'm gonna just walk
Oh
away now."
God, that's funny. Um, so what wow, 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 wow. All right,
Yeah,
so
it's such a loaded topic, right? Because you can go anywhere with that.
you know what it is, but in my opinion, I don't think it has to be. It's like if you really want to give great practical defense, first of all, they have to be involved. It's got to be weaponized, in my opinion. I think I might have said that already. um, and you have to give them. I think there needs to be more dialogue and more training, mock drills, and on the pre. Like, how did they get there? How'd you let them without going into their? Again, to reiterate for those who are jumping in, maybe late. Not ambush. I mean, again, I don't. Ambush is just like whatever. Navy SEALs die when they get ambushed. So how can we? Ambush is just that to me is wide open and a loaded question. Eric O'Brien is here. Do you know Eric O'Brien?
Yeah, he owns like a vegetable stand or something. I'm not really sure.
Yes,
And I think he's a three-time Taekwondo champ in Florida.
he
Like
is. He sells vegetables. He wears a funny hat in there.
well, he's Amish, right?
Actually, he wheels the cart around Naples.
Yes.
Okay, there, and he's got the hat.
He's the only Amish guy. What are you doing?
Extracurricular activity going on there, Renee's.
Sorry, dude. My dog just ran away and had this in its mouth. My
Oh,
dog's in whippets. Come here.
interesting.
Yeah, she's starting to fully get into her Boston mode, and like, hey,
Hey, while we
what?
got a decent
What's
sized audience
terrorizing?
here, why don't you guys put some suggestions in for topics or folks that you would like to have this on? And again, it could be anything. This is open, not it goes far
Dean
beyond
likes to call this Dean's Hot Topics.
hot topics.
Yes, which happens to be one of his favorite clothing stores as well.
And we won't get into why.
Yes,
So,
it's the Forever 21 that bothers me, but Hot Topics, hey man.
so folks, let us
Who
know.
else sells Sisters of Mercy T-shirts these days?
I got Echo on the Bunnyman today. Um, Matter of fact, I'm seeing this Saturday, knock on wood, nothing, I'm seeing the Human League and Alison Moyet of Yaz. And she's going to do all the Yaz songs. So I'm pretty excited for that.
Wow,
Yeah. So there,
I haven't been to a concert in like 10 years.
I'm going to all of them because who knows how many more years these guys are going to be doing this. You know what I mean? Like some of these bands. I mean, they're late
I would
60s.
go see Morrissey as long as I can sneak in a burger.
But
I would.
Morrissey, though, he's always good at, he cancels. So you got to be
No,
careful.
no. I would just do it so I can eat a burger in
Oh,
front of
you
him.
can eat a burger in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's difficult. Yeah. Yeah. Combative. Old people. Yeah, that's a good one. Old people engaging in combative martial arts. That's. I'm writing that down right now. Matter of fact, old people engaging in martial arts.
Who's that, Francisco?
No, that was Tony.
No, I'm saying the next one.
My Paul. Yeah, I mean, my Paul. We could. Gosh, I mean, we could discuss a lot with him. Jeez.
I don't
My,
think I know who that
my
is.
Paul would be a good one, actually. He would be. How long of a self defense seminar do you feel sufficient to teach a person to defend themselves? I've done two or three with real experience. you know, I found where it's not too overloading. I mean, this is what it's worked for me. And again, folks, take this with a grain of salt. Um, Based on, I ask them what they want to get out of this. I go into the pre-defense, all that. I go into the weaponization, what I feel the weaponization. I give them, based on their comfort level and that ground. So I'm able to do it definitely 2 hours and under. I think anything after that, there. I think retention becomes an issue. I know for myself, I can't do 4 hour seminars anymore. I just become mush. So yeah, 2 hours is kind of the for me.
You know what's funny is actually I like what Tony just said.
What's that?
Um,
When am I a joke or not?
it's funny when I started thinking about martial arts and whatnot, and how relevant I still am, or when it comes to what I do. But
Mm.
at the same token, when it comes to self preservation or self defense, it's something that I have to adjust now.
It's
And
absolutely
maybe when I was younger, you might get punched in the face. But if I'm 70 or 80, good chances that punch is going to have something in their hand,
self protection has no age limit.
like like at
No,
Boston.
no age limit. Yeah, I mean, like yeah. Um, I just turned 61. I have no intentions of retiring anytime soon. Matter of fact, I'm working on my attributes, trying to be faster. I mean, I'm not
Shit,
ready.
you were pretty fast. Like you're damn fast. Like there's a lot of stuff I didn't even see happen when you and I were playing around. How old are you again? You're you just said you just turned 61.
Yeah.
You don't look a day over like 60.
Oh my god, that's one of the kindest things you've ever.
But you know what's funny? When I look at you know when my parents were in their 50s, people were treating them like they were like 95.
Oh my god, I remember in the 80s when you heard 50. I remember when my father turned 50. I'm like, oh my god, like now it's like the 50 is the new, I don't know,
Well,
35.
here's the thing: the Golden Girls, the women who play the Golden Girls, they represented people who are in their 50s, which would be like people in their 70s or 80s now.
Yeah, yeah,
From the movie Cocoon, the diabetes guy,
yeah.
that dude was 47 years old when he made that movie.
Wow, I would have never guessed. As we age, you need to go to, yeah, absolutely. I mean, women, you get older, yeah. Again, weaponization, yeah. No argument, no argument. That's from one Seth Hooves.
And by the way, Gabriel, the pepper spray, I seen that backfire horrifically on people.
Ah,
Oh, fuck. Or take out an entire room or deploy it in the car.
could
I've
you
seen that
imagine?
happen.
Ah.
Oh, dude, I may have seen a fist fight that started one guy outside the car and the other guy inside, and the pepper spray was deployed and it went inside the car. It was amazing. It was beautiful.
Dean Franco, Spider Monkey on meth fast. I do meth. I do before I train. So, as a kid, I told my dad he was half dead. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, Brian, when my father turned 50, man, I was like, my God, he's old. But it's
Yeah, I just started like these things started coming out like for whatever reason.
God. You're what, 55?
Just turned.
Just turned 55. Yeah. I tell you though, I enjoy it, my training now. To me, I have to. It's a way of life, but it keeps me just, you know what I mean. It goes beyond just self improvement for our skill sets. It's just I can't go without it. Endorphin release. I mean, just everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe I'm lying to myself, but I definitely don't feel like I'm 55. Definitely don't act it. And I'm
Yeah.
still, you know, I'm running sites now, but if I throw a tool belt on, I still work circles around most
So
people.
you don't act 55.
I know. I only act 355.
That's the answer. That's the answer I was waiting for. See. Until let me see here. My dad says I was a healthy man until I got married. Yeah. I was a semi financially secure person until I got married. I had assets till I got married.
I was so confident with my assets, I left them with someone else.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh my God. Oh no, no, Stephen D. We're gonna get you back going. You're gonna be the piping master. You know why married men die first? They want to. That's the only way out. How are we supposed to act over 50? That's a good question. Because I certainly don't act 61, or what I perceived when I was younger, how 61-year-olds act. So I wouldn't be the person to ask that.
If
Um,
anybody told me that I'd still be training at 55,
yeah.
I would have said there's no chance in hell.
Really?
Yeah, because my body is like I've mashed my body up pretty good between accidents and motorcycle accidents
See,
and
yeah.
working and framing and
Yeah.
bouncing all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And then then I decided to do stick fighting, which is a really really smart thing for a carpenter to do. Um, yeah, um, and then but I still like for some reason I hate to say it, I just don't believe people when they say you can't do this. Like even when I broke my hand and the doctor said I would
Mm.
never be able to move to my fingers again, I was just like, yeah, whatever, man. I don't believe you.
And that's good on you, Steven. Seriously, don't give it up, man. I'll do whatever I can to help you and all that. Yeah. Um, here's the thing. Like, what told me that I knew I was going to still keep training until I can't move my legs or whatever, God forbid. When I saw Il Sismo in his 90s, I'm like, you know what? That if that guy's doing it, there's a goal for me. There's a goal, right? You know. So,
It's like the Rolling Stones, right? They're still rocking that. How old are they now? Like 200?
I mean, Mick Jagger looks okay, but Keith
He
Richards,
does.
well, better than Keith Richards.
I think that guy's embalmed. I don't think he's ever going to die.
Good, it's incredible. Yeah, I mean, the only one that's died is the drummer once, right?
Yeah.
Drummer died, and you could do just make yeah, exactly. You're right. You know what I mean? If the like that's I look up to that guy. That guy was moving around his 90s in Mill Park with youngsters. I mean, yeah, I have no intentions of giving up. And the younger folks, they keep me motivated. They really do. Um,
There's a guy in Canada. His name is Eric, and the doctors had told him that he would never walk properly and he'd never do this and never do that. He started lifting weights and doing BJJ, and he was supposed to be in a wheelchair. He's a full dog brother, and it's funny. Like you would see him. It kind of reminds me of the Asano. When Asano gets out of a car, gets out slow and walks
uh,
to the venue. In the venue, he's like, bah!
yeah,
So,
and like just that whole new dynamic takes
and
over.
Eric, and I'll say this to the day I die, I hate absolutely with every fiber of my body. I hate fighting that man. He is just evil, and he just absorbs punishment like nobody I've seen before. And he hits really hard. And and for some reason, we always fought together, right? And it's just like I absolutely hate it. And I even tell him I hate fighting you.
And by the
And he
way,
was like, "Oh, you shouldn't be wearing that thin mask." And it's like it doesn't matter. Like it's gonna hurt anyways.
oh my God, it's about to go home. Yeah. So were you referencing you weren't referencing Eric Nels, were you?
No, Eric Fournette.
That's okay. That's fine.
No, listen. Eric Canales is that's a whole different dimension of fighter and pain.
That's a whole different dimension of scary.
That dude, that dude broke my ribs, and he wasn't even really trying.
Dude,
And like
he
I said, that was actually one of my favorite uh, pranks I pulled on somebody when I showed up, and I broke a couple ribs, and I walked to my buddy Randall, who was going to fight him next, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I survived! I think my ribs are broken." And I pulled up my shirt, and
oh
like spider
man.
webs and bruises and bleeding and stuff.
You got I mean
And then he fought him next.
just some of the stuff that Burton has told me. I mean, Burton. played around with him like in his prime. I mean, yeah, just some of the stuff he like. Yeah, I mean,
I
Brady.
seen Eric take a full on full blast. I mean, full blast hand shot and like catch the stick, and you could hear like the cracking noise that the stick made, and he didn't even you sometimes you'll hear someone like even exhale hard. He didn't even do that, and I was like, this fucking guy ain't human. Like it's
Yeah, that's yeah. He's yeah. That's a whole
and
different
when
type.
he taught at the surf camp, which I've taught at in Spain, and the funny thing is, the first night he fought like everybody, and then like this day two pictures, people are like bandaged up and all bloodied, and then it's like, okay, we're going to take it easy for the rest of the couple days.
And I'm paying for this.
Oh, and here's the other
Yeah.
crazy thing. He is by far one of the nicest people I've ever met.
My worst, yeah, I know. My worst, I've had two ACLs. Was my, matter of fact, to kind of piggyback off what Renee said before about Eric, doctor told me, oh, yeah, you'll be good at it. You could be, a hitter for a softball team and all that. And obviously, look what I'm doing. But yeah, my ACL was probably, and subsequent knee injuries after that, which led to a hip replacement. What the worst I've seen? I've seen somebody's shoulder get dislocated, and they actually popped it
I
back
mean,
in.
that's horrible.
Yeah, and the guy was so used to it, he actually popped it back in. Yeah,
Nice.
so that would be from me, Renee.
Oh fuck. I think I broke my ulna in two places. Um, I split this finger, the bone in half. So my ring finger is actually smaller than my middle finger. I um, I rotated my metacarpal. I don't can see it on my hand. It's not exactly straight. Uh, Broken knuckles, broken fingers, busted up nose. The worst injury I've seen. A guy took a training blade to the armpit and it cut him open.
Oh,
Like like one of those like really close to hitting
like
that artery in
the
the armpit.
artery.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, and I actually forgot I have a really cool scar on my left shoulder where a training blade went into like the muscle, like it went in quite a bit. Um, and I couldn't figure out why my shirt was. I thought it was sweating, and I'm going like this, and
and
I
like,
realized
oh,
there's
that's
like red kept seeping up and through my body.
yeah. I had one 2014. It was due to the a number of operations on my leg. It basically put my left side, because I had a favor on my left side. It put my left side out of socket. Hip looked like a Grand Canyon on an X-ray. The only remedy was a replacement. But I'm going to tell you, Stephen, it was a walk in the park. Literally, I was the youngest person on the operating room. I got out, didn't need a cane. 2 weeks, I was back to doing it. Really, they got it down to a science. Really, so if anybody's got hip problems, like the downtime for me, it wasn't bad. And I'm so glad, like I just did it instead of like suffering. Yeah. Thoughts
Oh,
of
you know what was a good
conditioning.
one? Was I got hit in the sternum once so hard that the ribs popped off my sternum, and they basically went on top of each other. I said, "Oh yeah, that was pretty intense." Because I would cough, and you would just see the bruising just pop up.
Oh, that's like somebody living underneath there or something. That's
that
like
was so that was so fucking
I
brutal.
d- yeah, yeah. Thank you, Stephen. But Stephen, I do stuff every day for maintenance, band work, legs. I mean, like it. I work at it to be, But yeah, it's not. I just yeah to keep up with the younger, the younger folk. You got a question here. What conditioning? Uh, Thoughts on conditioning at the 40? Yeah, I do a lot of cardio, Gabe. I don't do heavy weights anymore because it was really starting to like bother me. So I do lighter weights for a lot of reps for muscle endurance, and my body is not as in pain from the heavy like weights and all that. That's what works for me. But
There's also something that Dean does. You just check it out on YouTube. It's called Prancercise, and I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. They have Prancercise for both men and women, and I remember Dean sent me a video on that, and
for you to consider, I did, and
that shit is intense.
yeah,
Like
guys, if you want it,
Prancercise.
let me know.
Do me a favor right now, or as soon as we're done, jot it down. Check out Prancercise.
For 1999.99, you will have the.
No, no, no. This is free. The person that
Oh
teaches
my
this
God,
is that teaches
thanks.
it for free.
Handle weight grab. I do it all, Gabe. Especially grappling with knife. Like I'm very knife centric, so my hand to hand clinch. I'm always monitoring hands, selecting the weapon. I so do it all. Yeah, my grappling more maintenance just because it is really taxing on my knees if like I'm playing guard like for a long time. But I do it for maintenance. So God forbid if I did. But yeah, definitely striking and yeah, I mean for sure weapon.
There's a full
Yes.
set of exercises that Dean does with an ear of corn as well. Um,
You're giving
I
me my
don't know if I'm
secrets
supposed to talk
away.
about. Yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have, but
That would
you got to
yeah,
check that
that
out.
one, I'm gonna keep that one secret. Yeah, if you don't mind. So
All right. Well, I think you should tell people because that could save your life.
I think if they reach out to me individually, I'll share that. But I don't think it's worth me like giving it to everybody on here. You know what I mean? They have to reach out to me.
Maybe you can just mime what you.
Sure,
Never
get
mind.
this is going south real fast. So next week in my experience,
Christina will be on.
yeah, it's the most taxing on me.
What
Uh,
grappling is? You know what's ridiculous? Let me tell you this. I'm going to tell you what's ridiculous. My son right now outranks me in BJJ, which I find hilarious. And my
also,
son,
so does Roman. Yeah, I know,
and he's 7.
I know. So does Roman. I know. You know what?
and
Though? I'm glad. Yeah.
and now he's asked me to like go back, so I'm going back yet again. And yeah,
The secret
the
training.
warm ups, just the idea of the warm ups just make me want to throw up.
It's just like because I do mine's like I don't do sport. Like I'm either like watching for weapons or hitting, and so it's just like it's not that controlled sport. Where you know what I mean. Like you're in there and you're trying to work things. So
My
really,
problem is I'm so tired all the time because I get up at like 3, 4 in the morning to go to work, and I go to bed around 1. I'm
how the
so
hell
tired.
you get up at 4, go to bed at 1, and get up at 4 and function?
It's just what I do. Um, but I'm so tired that as soon as I hug somebody, I go to sleep. So
So the moment like you're in side control, ooh,
people tap out because I don't let go, right? And it doesn't matter what they're doing to me. Oh, just hit the snooze button.
oh man, oh man. Um,
No, there's a hill. I got about 3 acres in the back, and a big part of it is a hill, and
yeah,
that's a run up the hill with some weights on.
that's yeah. What I do is for the quick. Uh, I do a lot of stuff for the quick twitch muscles, but for that quick cardio, because I don't have time to spend an hour on a treadmill, like sprints. So I do like sprints on the treadmill, then I'll walk sprints like in there, like that. Really, that's helped me. Greco-Roman workouts for yeah. That's no. But you're young, yes, Seth. You can take it. I would be in a wheelchair after or in traction. 4 hours of Greco-Roman wrestling, getting just
If you want a good workout, and I just did this recently because I've never owned a pool before, try changing the sand filter on your pool. Um, that's a lot of fun because it's 200 pounds of sand that you have to get out of this filter and then put 200 pounds in, and make sure you put it in the right position when you put it back.
so do that like daily. That'll be.
Just once, and I hope not to do that for the next 3 years.
I hope to
And I'll,
never ever do that again.
and the other one was
Oh, thank you, Tony.
just getting all the leaves and crap out of the pool. That's been a blast.
They're
Because
such
again, I've never owned the pool before,
they're
and
such a pain. We have one. We haven't opened in 2 years. It's just such a freaking pain. You get 2 months use out of it, and it's just such a pain, man. I just like,
and then
yeah.
like your neighbors are there looking at you.
Daddy, can I bring the charger to the other room?
What?
Can I bring the charger for the actual
What?
Oh, thank
piano?
you, Gabe.
You better come here. Arr.
You better come here.
Arr.
I'm trying to say hi.
He's so funny.
Um,
You know, it's funny. We were one night. I was like, "Okay, Rona, it's time to go to bed." He's like, "Daddy, I'm scared," and I'm like, "Listen, just want to let you know something.
yeah, we do it too.
Cocolos are not afraid of anything." And he goes, "Well, that's interesting because this Cocolo is afraid of going upstairs by himself."
Because that's funny because this goes low and thinks there's something underneath the bed. Would you mind coming up? Oh, that's funny.
And they were like, they're incredible. You've met them. They're they're funny, but they're incredibly smart too. When they were like babies, they would, I'd put them to bed and tuck them in, and then like hang out for a minute, and they would wait for me to pass out. So they could leave their rooms, and I'd find them in my bed.
Oh, oh, hey.
Yeah,
Figure
crazy.
we would just do a switch.
Pulling
Uh,
pavers. That sounds like a lot of fun.
yeah.
Yeah, my wife wants to get chickens. I think that might be a workout too.
A lot of people do that. Matter of fact, we have a couple on our road, Fair Road, and a couple of them have chickens. Yeah. So it's around here.
No, see, the problem with this is when the chickens get sick, and which they will, and they have to be taken out, which they will. It's going to be my job.
Yeah, they have to be penned in around here because you got the coyotes and the foxes, which will
Oh,
just
we got coyotes here too.
yeah. So everybody's got them kind of penned in. During the day they let them run around, but at night they're penned in. Otherwise they won't. They'll be gone. The coyotes will just. Yeah.
And that's why, folks, you should watch what you do for for self defense training. That's why I love these chats. Sometimes they just like
I know we
okay.
were like on a roll there. We're like, oh man, we're talking about women's self defense, or this and that, and then, um,
You know what, Eric? Chickens don't have large talons, but they make a really funny noise when you kick them.
oh my god, do chickens have? That's the oh
Napoleon.
my Napoleon. Yeah, do they have large talons? That would be
I
chicken.
remember my dog got loose. My old dog, the one that you kissed you on the mouth. Um, she got loose once, and she came back with like chicken feathers. And I could just see like my neighbor staring at me. Like I was like, "Oh, what happened?" It's like, "Why did you pluck your chickens?"
City
Oh,
too?
it was my dog.
Jeez, man, we got them all over here, but I would never in the city. Wow. Oh my gosh.
Or walked up to us last month. Chickens or coyotes?
Up around here, they won't. If they see you out there, they will not enter the yard. You know, you know. But what time is it? I got to run a little bit. But yeah, folks, next week looks like Christine.
Christina, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. We haven't had a guest in a while. And it sounds great. Um,
Yeah, it's Christina. There's Jay as well, who does the powerlifting, who I'd love to chat with.
yeah, and
Um,
then yeah, we got the font. Yeah, font. Yeah,
and then there's, I think, Francisco wanted to talk about something as well.
you did.
Yeah, apparently he's taking on some new martial art, like dancing thing or something.
Oh, we can talk to him about that. See if he can do a
Yeah,
demo when he's on.
yeah, he's doing some sort of like it's like ballroom dancing,
Yeah, I mean,
Filipino
he's got
ballroom.
to do. If he's going to come on, he's got to do a demo. We have to really get see what he's doing. So yeah, I'll see if he wants to do that. But Molly Powell would be good. Molly Powell, there's a guy we could really talk a lot about. That guy's really
So
known.
what's his background?
Indian martial arts. He's done Kabbalist. He's done a couple some Japanese stuff, but more. But he's also got the immersion labs, like where he has these annual. He didn't do it or a couple of years of the COVID and last year, but basically he'll do a theme. He brings out people all around the world. Let's say it's like stick. Like he's brought all these different people all around the world that have different stick arts. Um, some books published too. Um,
Okay.
he would be a good one for sure.
Daddy, can you get me a plate of the food?
What's that?
A plate of the butter
I can't hear you when you're over
Can
there.
you get me a plate of the butter chicken? Oh, Mama, I just want to see something.
What?
It's just hilarious. Crack me up. Hey, Rahel, I was just telling people how you're the most patient woman in the world.
It's true.
Mama, look. It's for you.
Oh, man. All right, well, we're ramping up here. It's a mix between having more food and getting ready for bed.
All right. So yeah, next week, guys. Christina.
You know what? It was great coming back, man. I really enjoyed our talk.
Yeah, same here. Sounds
You know, I
good.
wish you wouldn't cancel as often.
I'm going to try not to cancel on you. Like,
And folks, please, like I said, prancer size.
Princess.
Prancer size.
Yeah. Here's the
Okay?
thing too. If I do cancel, I won't do it like 5 minutes before 7. I'll at least
Have I done that?
I'll at least do it like midday. You know what I mean?
Yes. And Francisco, please check out Prancer size.
Prancer size, guys. You
Yeah,
guys
Prancer size.
gotta message me, okay? And then I'll give you the link. Okay. So awesome. All right. Well, then I'll be in touch.
All right, take it easy, guys.
You too. Bye. That wraps up 45. And who is coming? Yeah, so next week is Christina. As far as FMA discussion, got a couple people, just got to kind of line up days and times. But as always, will be posted FMA discussion and pen where you guys will see it. But again, if you're not busy and Saturday afternoon for 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., there you go. You guys can get some exposure to WPM. But here's the thing, Burton, believe it or not, we were both certified under Lloyd. Burton had some stuff going on, health issues and all kinds of projects. So he kind of departed, with, again, other stuff going on. And I was left with Lloyd. For good, bad, and ugly. No, just kidding. But at any rate, yeah. So, but that's this Saturday. You can kind of get Burton's going to give his kind of intake and sharing what he thinks, the influence of the Sea-Lot and Zulu. And I'm going to be kind of covering what Piper does by default system, and indirectly that'll be, shown through techniques. So, but yeah, check it out if you can, and all that. But in the meantime, I thank everybody that came and jumped in. Yes, downloads are available. Correct. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. All right, folks. As always, take care. Thank you for watching and commenting, and I will see you next time. Good night, all.